was a cowboy back in the day, it would have been a saddle. Like I would have spent a lot of time picking out a saddle. So I spent time to get the money to buy this thing, purchased it, and then I use this thing every day. So there's two things there. I kind of developed this familiarity with the objects in my life that I use often. Like right now, if someone were to steal my laptop, holy cow, dude, that's a big deal, man. There's a lot of stuff on my laptop that I've worked with, and like I'm recording this file right now on the laptop. That's time I
Yeah, they would be stealing future time from you as well.
Yeah.
In terms of what it would take to replace the work in the organization and getting it where you want it, as well as past time that you took to earn it and that you took to get it where you want it.
So I don't know if it's as much as the money aspect of it, it's the time it takes to make things right. And it's just like that person didn't want, let's say for the sunglasses, for example, let's say they were $200 and a person might make $10 an hour. That's 20 hours of labor, right? That's a lot of work, right?
Yep.
So that person did not want to invest 20 hours to acquire the money to buy them. It's much easier just to wait and let Destin go to the bathroom and then just steal it from him. That's easier. But I just don't understand that, because I couldn't sleep at night if that's the way I operated. That's evil.
Yeah, and I know you'll disagree with me on this, and we don't have to go far down this rabbit hole, but that same moral thing that you feel there is why I'm generally in favor of much lower taxes. Other people have an idea for how they want things to be, so then they take things from people who earn money. And there's some things that are worth taxing, there's some things that aren't, so I won't say I'm for no taxes, but generally given the two options, I think we should tax each other less.
My gears are spinning here.
For people without an option.
My gears are spinning here. So you're basically equating taxes with theft. So what you're saying is...
Oh, you're doing that. I would equate some taxes with theft.
No, I mean, you've got me on my heels a little bit here because, you stirred me up, you took me to an emotional place, and then you wanted to come back and have a philosophical discussion about...
You made it seem like it was intentional. I don't have some master plan in front of me, dude.
Well, my point is I'm not up to speed mentally with where you're at. I'm trying to get there. I'm still in the angry hole place. So.
Well, I think they're both the same place, though. I mean, for me, okay, here's what does it for me. I bought a $150, weird about that number, maybe that's just back in the day what we were willing to spend, you and I. I bought a $150 car stereo for my 93 Isuzu Trooper. Here's what this car stereo could do, and I want you to hear me out on this. You could record MP3s onto a compact disc and then put the compact disc in this car stereo, and it would play the MP3s like in their natural file. So it's like the first thing I ever had where I could make my own mix discs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was huge. I mean, there was no iPods or anything in those days. It was a huge purchase for me. And I worked very hard, made some mistakes, figured out how to install it, got it all done. And one night, I'm laying in bed, and my dogs start yapping and barking. And I don't know, I kind of looked around the house, and everything was fine. And I got up the next morning, and sure enough, the car door has been tinkered with to, jimmy it open or whatever. And
it was locked.
In the dash, there's just a gaping hole. It was a 93 Isuzu Trooper, so is it ever really locked?
So they probably just pounded their fist on the roof and it opened or something like that.
Yes, yeah, vigorously like that, and it just popped open. They knew the place to punch. And so there's this big hole in my dash, and they didn't even do a good job of removing it. They gashed and tore up the whole thing. So I'm emotionally angry because now my Trooper is worse than it was before I put it in. Because they destroyed that property. They took something that I saved up to buy. They took something that I had to put forth energy and time and call in a couple of friend favors, frankly, to get installed. And they took something that was a source of joy, just pleasure while driving around, listening to the music I want to listen to instead of the stupid top 40 station. And with all of that frustration, the thing that kept me awake at night, thinking about how angry I was not any of that. It was that someone went into my driveway at the house that I own, and they put their hands on my stuff that I saved up and bought, and then damaged my stuff to steal my stuff. They were sitting where I'm sitting right now as I drive this car, I would think to myself. Like, they were here. with their grubby hands and their dirty lack of morality, they were right here.
Oh, so it's like this imaginary fence or this protective layer that was around, your I don't know, your domain had been violated or penetrated by a perpetrator, and and you didn't have the ability or the resources to keep them from doing that because you can't be at all places at all times.
I could have walked out the door when the dogs were barking, but I don't know what would have happened because I don't know who stole it from me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know, we didn't have kids at that point, but it just felt like the world is dark and problematic sometimes, beautiful at others, but like this is my little spot that I'm making better through my effort and my labor, and just not here. Somewhere else, maybe out on the street, whatever, but like I'm trying to just build one controlled, safe space. And you came in here over $150 stereo and violated it, and that house never felt the same to me. And that's probably because of emotional weakness on my part, but it never felt the same. So, my friend, all of that to say, no, I'm not trying to give you the bait and switch where I lead you down the emotional road and then try to make some political point. I don't need you to think what I think politically. What I am saying is that, generally speaking, I very much agree with you that there is something sovereign about property, that there is something incredibly lazy about saying, well, I have a thing that I want and I don't want to do the work for it, so I'll just use your work. And there are certain taxes and mentalities about taxation that I feel like aren't that different. And just because we signed some papers or 45.2% of people voted for a thing and that turned out to be a majority, that now that gets to happen. Sometimes that troubles me. Other times I feel like, hey, I like what we're doing here as a community, as a group of people, and I'm happy to kick in to provide this service to my neighbors and to myself. So I'm not a taxationist theft guy necessarily, but sometimes I feel like taxation can lean in that direction.
Whatever.
Does that trouble you?
No, it doesn't trouble me. It's just like we're talking about a glitter bomb video that's amazing. And then you get all deep and philosophical. We should just talk to Mark about his video. That's what we should do.
Well, okay, how did you find out about the video? Did Mark tell you that he was going to publish this thing, or did he catch you by surprise?
We're always talking. Mark and I are buddies, and so we're texting each other all the time. And he sent me, back when he was developing the glitter bomb, he sent me some video of what he was doing, and we talk back and forth about things all the time. Like, there's a video I have coming up soon that I bounced some ideas off of Mark, and so, like, I had known he was going to drop this video. I had no idea it was going to be so well received. This is one of the rare moments where a person wins the internet, and Mark totally won the internet with this video.
Where somebody wins the internet and deserves it, and you like what they won it with.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Usually the number one thing in trending for me is a disappointment. But when I saw this, and everybody I know who makes content tweeted this video. Everybody.
Yep.
But then I got a little monitor that I put on my wall here for where I record so I can keep tabs on things. I loaded it up, I connected it to the internet, and the first thing that pops up on this little smart TV monitor is Mark's video. I'm like, wow, Mark, dude, you've arrived, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. And I had not seen it at that point, so I queued the thing up. And just to bring everybody up to speed who hasn't seen it, Mark was getting porch pirated. We're using that term, right?
Yep.
And so